So we're back with the Dan and Ninko Show, a home special Dan and Ninko Show. We swear this is the only not on location show for a very long time. This week I got to go.
Next week I'm gonna be in Vegas next week.
Oh, you're gonna be in Vegas?
Well, I'm going to Arizona with the team on Saturday. Watch the Arizona game
right.
And then go to Vegas. Watch the Vegas
watch
game.
But you're gonna watch them get destroyed by little Kyler Murray.
Is that your pick?
Yeah, I'm going with Arizona.
Oh boy. That's
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. We'll see. You have actually been on a roll, but that's because I've been trying to change things up. I just can't pick the teams that you're picking week in and week out. But so a special episode number 80. Got a funny story. So friends of mine came in from New Orleans, and they had never been to a Bruins game. So we went on Monday to the Bruins game. It was actually a great game against the Vegas team, and they went into overtime. They lost in a shootout, but something happened to me that I was just happy it wasn't on a Jumbotron or like on a Sports Center highlight. So I was sitting on like one row from the glass. So I was on the second row. My buddies were in the first row. I looked down at my phone. I was like texting my wife or something, and the puck hit me in the jaw. The puck came over the net. It like hit the net. It hit me right here, and the puck was sitting in my lap. And people were like, "Are you okay?" And at first I was like, "Yo, what the hell just hit me in my chin? Like something like hit me pretty hard." But it didn't. It wasn't like a bang, like where I was like, "Whoa," because I've been hit in the head before. I know what that feels like. So everyone was like, "Oh, you just got hit with the puck. Are you?" And I was fine. I said, "Leave me alone. I'm fine." I took the puck. I gave it to my friend that came. It was our first hockey game ever. So that was like every baseball game I go to, I'm always wondering, how come I don't get a foul ball? How come I don't get something my way? I go to a hockey game, and I'm looking down at my phone. I hit in the face with a hockey puck. So
it hurt a good amount after that, huh?
It was so. I mean, it got me right on my jaw
later on.
Yeah, it was a little sore. So hey, it's a souvenir. I'm actually gonna pop something that Castle Island sent me. I'm gonna show everybody this. So this is Cow Prince salted caramel coffee blonde stout. Let's see what it's like. I don't.
It could be dangerous. I got a Roto Brewing from Maine, tubular.
Oh, I think I've had tubular.
This is tropical and juicy, triple dry hopped with Citra, Eldorado, Topaz, and Galaxy.
I love Galaxy.
Excited for this.
Hold on, ready? Let's see what the face says. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm not ready for coffee beer. I might have to. I don't know. Maybe the second taste is different. Let's see.
You should be a fucking pitch man. Holy shit.
Oh. I love
a ringing endorsement.
But listen, I love Castle Island. I'm not a huge salted caramel coffee type beer guy.
It's not a fiver.
No, this one's I don't get it. I mean, maybe
you would love this. You would absolutely love this.
Maybe somebody would like. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there. I don't want to just poop all over this thing. It says, to close out a year of killer collaborations, we did something sweet, fun, intended. We worked close with ice cream masters JP Licks to make a Crooked Cow Prince, a salted caramel coffee inspired blonde stout that is a perfectingly decadent offering that we are very proud of. They're made of Cow Prince ice cream. Does this go bad? It's bad.
You should be a freaking pitch man. Holy shit. That was a great pitch that you had for that. So what was worse? What was worse, that or Matt Patricia's called offense on Thursday night?
Hey, check down, baby. Check down, check down, check down. Bing, 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 check down. You got freaking your quarterback who doesn't get mad at all. He
I know.
run,
He was pissed.
stop running the ball.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
No, I know.
He
He
said,
said,
stop the fucking short passing game,
yes,
basically.
I know. But that's still
Which,
short passes is running the football, basically.
yeah, but I mean, I
But
think
what are
he
you
was
gonna
also
do?
saying he's saying it because you're down by multiple scores and you're still checking it down, which you got to get chunk plays at that point.
Why
They weren't
are they
trying to
doing
do anything.
this is my question. Are they worried about what are they worried about at that point? And so checking the ball down and being so cautious. Are you being cautious because you don't want to turn the ball over? Are they trying to protect certain stat lines? Like
I just
at
wonder
this moment,
if they're trying to protect Mac because of how bad the offensive line was. It was bad,
dude, Mac.
the offensive line.
How? I mean, I don't know how you can protect Mac at this point. Like you're almost hurting him by doing the game plan that they're running. You're
No,
almost
no.
putting him in a disadvantage by just having such a mediocre call and plan. Like, what is the plan? Like, when you watch other teams, they have a plan that you can see it. When you watch the Patriots, I feel like the last time we saw them with a plan was the Vikings game, and they looked good. They threw the ball, they completed
Down the
passes
field. Down the field.
down the field. They actually
Yeah.
scored on their opening possession, which was the first time they had all year. What was that I watched? I really think the confidence in Mac Jones is probably just destroyed. Like he don't have any confidence. Football's all about confidence. You're a linebacker, defensive player, DB, receiver, punter, kicker, long snapper. I was a long snapper. If you have a bad snap and you lose a little confidence, you continually have bad snaps. It's like in golf where you're shanking them and you're like, man, I don't know why I'm shaking these. I feel like I'm perfect and it's still bad. It's because you're overthinking stuff. You start to get in your own head. And then when that happens, bad deal, man. Bad deal.
But
And
I don't think in that game they were mentally trying to protect Mac Jones. I think they were physically trying to protect Mac Jones. The protection was really bad. I don't know if on that intentional grounding. Did you see Trent Brown what he did on that intentional grounding? He tried to cut the end. He tried to cut the end weirdly and just completely whipped, and the end just made it all the way in.
Well, I think that you look at the overall offensive line, you look at the system, everyone's got to be frustrated. But the offensive line has dealt with a lot of injuries. I think Trent Brown was sick. I heard that
he
a
was
lot
sick.
of guys were sick. I think they're sick this week. So they got guys in the building with masks on right now. They're all sick. So what does that do for a team if they're all sick? Flying to Arizona, you're going to be on that plane. You better put a mask on. That's the same air circulating.
I was sick. I was sick last week, so I'm good.
Oh, you're good. You take your beard and just put a rubber band around your
elastic
nose.
Elastic band up.
Right there. It's like a perfect filter.
I got vaccinated, so I mean, I'm fully protected though.
You're vaccinated. I didn't know that you were. What did Aaron Rodgers call it? Immunized. I didn't know you were immunized like that.
Yeah, a long time ago when it first started. When you faked your one.
Bad news about those things, man. Bad news.
I'm okay. It's been like 2 years. I'm good.
That's when it starts. 2 years later.
So the big question has been in the media since Thursday is, and I think it's good to get your take on it because you know both guys and you've been in the locker room and everything. Obviously, all the calls are to get rid of Matty P. And Bill came out in his interview on Monday with the Greg Hill Show and said that it would be too hard to basically replace a coordinator at this point of the season.
Isn't it hard? Isn't it hard when you have your friends in certain situations? Like, say, for example, you have one of your dealerships and your best friend is the GM and he's just bad. He's just not doing well. Things aren't looking good. It's really tough for you to walk in and just say, hey, man, I'm gonna need you to leave. Things aren't working out. You're not gonna work here anymore. Then that friendship's just pretty much gone. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think he's gonna try and protect Matty a little bit. Maybe keeping him in the building with a different title
different role. Move him
because he doesn't. Is he officially the OC? Like, did they ever officially name him? They never.
No.
That's the thing. That's the little asterisk. Like, not officially the OC. So after the season, I think the season already is what it is. So they're gonna continue to play the way they're playing. They're gonna get through the season, and then after the year's over, they'll probably make some moves and do some official titling. And Matty P will still be in the organization. He'll like maybe move to offensive line, or he'll do something else, or go back to defense. But I mean, that's why the defensive coordinator role isn't even titled. I don't think. Like, I think
no, they don't have any coordinators. Matt Patricia's exact title is Senior Football Advisor / Offensive Line Coach.
Oh yeah.
I think what's going to happen is I think everybody has to be resigned to the fact that Gerard Mayo is gone. Right, he's going to be a head coach in the NFL this offseason.
You think he'll be a head coach after this season?
Guaranteed. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
I think he's going to go be a DC somewhere first.
Has there
ever been an assistant that goes to head coach?
Probably.
I don't know. I mean, he's going to have the opportunity. He's a smart guy, but does he have like that coordinator? You know, I feel like everybody that goes up to the next level as a head coach has the coordinator role for at least a year.
But he did interview. He interviewed last year for head coaching jobs, though. I mean, he got the interviews and everything.
Yeah, don't you feel like those interviews are just like, oh yeah, we interviewed the guy?
Supposedly, he was very close to getting a couple of the jobs.
Well, those jobs that were filled, which I don't remember what teams that he had interviewed for, but the teams that he did interview for, if they were close and those new coaches are like going to be there, there's no chance of that. And then if he has another opportunity, he'll get interviews. I mean, look, they got the Rooney Rule, and they're going to interview people. Like, I feel like for Mayo to have a legitimate shot, I think he needs to go somewhere else. I think he needs to leave New England and go somewhere else. Be a coordinator.
I think he's going to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos.
The Denver Broncos?
Yeah.
No, you don't want to go there, bro. You got Russell Wilson. You're literally tied to Russell Wilson. The only reason that he'd go there is that $25 million or $20 million. Like, that's a guaranteed
That's what I mean,
contract.
though. Like, why wouldn't you go there, though? It's like hitting the lottery. It shouldn't matter where you want to go as a coach anymore, right? Because you're going to get 30 to 40 million bucks, right? No matter what. You suck after 2 years, you get the whole thing, and then you get another opportunity.
But then you never get. No, I don't think you get another opportunity.
Josh McDaniels was bad. He agreed to a deal with the Colts. Walked out the last second.
Josh McDaniels is an elite coordinator. Like, you want a coordinator? Josh McDaniels will always have a job as a coordinator. Always. Like, he's not going to go away as a coordinator. His head coach is leadership skills. Yeah, head coaching job, because he's an offensive. The teams want offense. They don't want defensive people. Like, all these teams want the McVays, the young Shanahan, the Mike McDaniel, McLovin. Like, they want those guys to come in, because at the end of the day, the money and the investment is in the quarterbacks. So Denver, they just paid Russell Wilson $260 million. I guarantee they're going to want to bring in somebody that they feel is an offensive guru to maximize that investment, because $20 million versus 200 something million, that's the one that's talking to me.
Yeah.
So I think Draw's going to have a shot, but I think he's going to have to go somewhere to be a coordinator. He's going to get an opportunity to be a coordinator and then climb the ladder, just like, Vrabel was a position coach. Then he went Then he went to the Titans for 1 year. He was the D coordinator for 1 year. They were 32nd in the NFL. They were dead last defense, and he still got a head coaching job. But he had that position. So
yeah. I mean, who knows? He might be gone now with their GM being fired. But
they just extended. Didn't they just extend him
last year? I think, or 2 years ago.
No, didn't they? No, they extended him and the GM in the offseason. Something had to go down. There had to have been like an argument or disagreement, because if you look, I think him and Vrabel both signed extensions this offseason.
I don't know if it was this off. It was recently. I mean, they had extensions.
No, I swear, I think it was this offseason. I think it was the offseason. Look it up. Look up the GM. You don't sign a guy to an extension in the same year, basically fire him for, and he's got a 65% winning percentage. Like, something's fishy with that. Like,
yeah, you're right. This past offseason, he signed a multi-year extension.
Yeah, multi-year extension, fully guaranteed. Thank you for firing me. So I don't know. Maybe him and the owner, like, he told the owner to kick rocks or something, or stick it where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, the Titans came out and said that they weren't pleased with the way he's assembled the roster, but they're like the second or third best record in the AFC. They're leading their division.
Well, this is the same organization that fired the head coach that took the Titans to a playoff, to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it was Malarkey. Was it Mike Malarkey?
You said it, Adam Marone. One of the two.
No, it wasn't Doug Marone. I think it was Malarkey. Okay. I think it was.
It could have been. I think you're right.
Both of those guys were with the Saints with me, but I think, Vrabel walked into a great opportunity, a great spot. I think that helps too. It's all opportunity. Like, you want to go get a head coaching job and make yourself look good. You walk into a team that has a decent roster. You want to look kind of shitty, go do what the Panthers guy did. Now he's the head coach, college again, back to college.
Yeah,
Nebraska.
you can see that coming. You can see that coming.
It's a bullshit move, man. Like, you go, you should pay the money back or donate it to charity. Give it to charity. Like, at least if you earn it, okay, I get it. If you are a one hit, like 1 year, not even make it, fired, 4 years left on your contract, you should be obligated to donate that to charity. Obligated.
Because I don't understand how their contracts are guaranteed, but the players' contracts aren't guaranteed. They can get injured, they can get anything that happens to them. At least the coach, staying on the sidelines. You shouldn't have a guarantee of your contract. You get fired, your contract should be gone. That's what it is in the real world, right? You sign a contract to go run a company, and it's $400,000 a year, and you get fired. You're done. Like, that contract is ripped up. No more payments. You're on your way. It's crazy to me. Might be a good time to go to questions now, because I think this will go into a lot of the stuff that we need to talk about with the Patriots. Cool. This team is so damn awful, so damn hard to watch.
Yeah, they're pretty tough to watch, man. They are pretty tough to watch. I agree with you. And even defensively, I feel like defensively everyone's at least our defense is tough, and they're built to get after the quarterback. Not in the last couple of weeks, they haven't. Not when they played decent.
A couple of them disappeared. Uche looked good. Uche actually looked good, though.
Against a shitty tackle with no ankle.
So Judon had the same tackle he was going against.
No, he wasn't going against that kid. That kid that was with Tennessee Titans actually a long time ago. He was on Hard Knocks. He had leukemia or something. That's that kid, and he had a messed up ankle. They were showing him on the sidelines trying to test it. Like, yo.
All right, what do the Pats need to do in order for this offense to progress long term?
They need another offensive lineman. They need a tackle. Couple. So they need to anchor their offensive line first and foremost. They need a lot of shit. They need a better tight end. I don't even like the tight ends they have are non-existent. I don't care what you say. You can pay them what you want, but they're not explosive. They don't block well in the run game. They don't do much. So I would say offensive line, tight end. I like the receivers. I think the receivers are fast, and I think that they can get it done if you had a good system in place. But it starts up front. Like, you can't take shots downfield if your quarterback's not having time to get the ball down the field. You can't, control the intermediate parts of the field if your tight ends aren't very good. And I just think that they have a lack of production in the tight end position, and their offensive line isn't really working that well. I like Stevenson. I think he's a beast. So you got a running back. You got a big, strong running back that can catch and run. Thornton looks like he's a guy that could be explosive in a couple of years or a year. So you have some pieces offensively. Now, the scheme, sure, like they are going to have to address the scheme. They're going to have to change some stuff. And then Mac Jones, like, where is he going to be at after the season? Like, where's his headspace going to be? Because himself, like, he might go tell his agent, like, yo, I'm not coming back to this. Like, I only have so many opportunities in the league, and I'll go be a backup and hope that someone goes down to get a shot than be in a place that I don't feel confident.
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with, you got to get an offensive coordinator. I mean, none of the other shit matters. I mean, you could fix the offensive line, you could fix the receiver position, you could fix the tight end position, but if you're going to keep calling an offense this way, it don't matter. I mean, so they have to get that offensive play caller in there. The offensive line is kind of in shambles, it seems like. The interior is okay. It's just the tackles that are bad. And Mac either needs to develop one of these other receivers into his guy type, or they need to go find them. I mean, you look across the league, right? Josh Allen was nothing until he got Stephon Diggs. Yeah, Kirk Cousins was an okay quarterback until he gets Justin Jefferson. Like, you get this. I mean, it's easier said than done, right? You got to go find this receiver, draft them. They have to be able to go. I mean, it's easier said than done. That's what Patriots fans need to realize. Like, you can say you want a number one receiver all you want. It doesn't mean you can just go get one. There's few and far between of these guys. I mean, they act as if there's one of these guys on every single team in the NFL, and there isn't. It's the elite teams have them. But it's definitely the offensive play caller. It's bad. I mean, it's real bad. Will Bill have the stones to fire or reassign Matty P and Joe Judge?
I think reassign, that's easy. Like, hey, go do this, go do that. Firing and like completely separating himself, I don't think you necessarily have to do that, because Matty P is a good coach. He was a great coach on defense. He knows what he's doing. He just might be in over his head, and that's not his fault. If someone asks you like, hey, would you be willing to do this role? I know it's going to be tough. You haven't done anything about it. Like, pretty much like your confidence, and if you think that you could do it, like, you're going to try it. Now, I think that he's in over. I think it's tough. I think it's hard to be a defensive guy and then try and flip the script and go offense like that. Nobody's done it. Nobody has succeeded at that, and I think there's a reason for it.
I mean, the thing is, there's more to it than just having a play sheet and calling the plays, right? It's the offensive coordinator. You have to design the plays too and everything. And, the design of a lot of these plays are just terrible. And, the timing of the calls, like, they call the game very scared, but, it's tough because what's going through their head is, if we have Mac drop back to throw the ball down the field, is he going to get hurt? Because Bill made a point in his press conference after the game when they asked, why didn't you use the timeouts at the end? And he said, well, I didn't think we were in the game, basically, and I didn't want to get Mac hurt like we did in the Ravens game. So I think that that's a big piece to it. I really think it's a big piece to it.
But there's not much. I mean, they're 6-6 right now. They don't have much time. I mean, they got bailed out in this week because certain teams lost. But I think that at the end of the day, they're going to be exactly where I said they were going to be. 8 or 9 wins. 8 or 9 wins.
Well, you're coming up with less than that because you said they're going to lose to the Cardinals. Mac flipping out and Bourne talking about play calling. What would you do if you were Bill?
I would go to Mac Jones and say, I want you to call the plays this week. I want you to run the offense. You do what you feel comfortable with. See how it goes.
Would Bill actually do that, though?
Probably not. But if I was the coach, I'd say, look, I know you're frustrated. I'm frustrated. We're not in the right place. You played quarterback a long time. You're a smart kid. Like, I want you to feel comfortable. Come up with a script. Come up with your best 15 plays, and we're gonna work on those all week. And we're gonna go into this game plan, and it's gonna be your thought process on how we attack this defense and what you think will get us to firing and looking better and firing on all cylinders, and just let them do it. See what happens. And then you got to go to Matty P and say, listen, we're gonna have Mac come up with a few things that he feels really comfortable with. You're gonna be on the headset, giving him everything that he needs to know about personnel, the strong and weak points of the defense that he's about to look at, and you're like the support system. And then in certain situations, you give him some ideas, and then he tells you what he wants to run.
What about Bourne, though? Bourne's comments.
I don't know. What did he say? I didn't know exactly what he said.
He was talking about the offensive scheme, that our scheme is bad and that we don't even know what to call when the defense is running a certain thing. We call it the worst possible plays when the defense is running things. He threw the offensive line into the bus, said that, Mac can't do anything if they can't block for him, and that they weren't throwing the ball down the field. So there's a lot of things he said.
Yeah, he might not play this week.
yeah, he's going to be a healthy scratch, but it's tough for me when I look at it. I like Kendrick Bourne. I think he's a good player. But you sit there and you criticize everybody, but yet when a ball is thrown right to your chest, when you could have had a big gain on third down, and the ball as a wide receiver hits you in the chest and falls down, where you could have had a big gain, you can't really say too much. I mean, part of the problem then is you at that point.
The only people that can say something in those situations are guys that are true, just complete game changers.
Like Hall of Famers.
Guys that just guys that have 10 touches a game, like Stevenson. If Stevenson said something like that, people would probably be like, "Well, shit, yeah, he's playing his freaking heart out. He's playing hard, and just things aren't looking right this year." So it's going to be interesting. I really, this next 5 weeks on how they finish, how the division looks, because Miami looked kind of suspect against the 49ers. And
they couldn't beat the last pick in the draft. The last pick in the draft beat them.
Yes, Mr. What is it? Irrelevant? I can't even say it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about the division. I think the Buffalo Bills, they're a strong football team, but they have some little spots I think that you could beat them in, especially as the season winds down. Josh Allen's getting beat up. Even in the game against the Pats, he took some good shots. The one where he ran for the first down and McCourty popped him. It's a pretty good hit there. He's taking good contact.
There's only so many of those you can take. I mean, that's not an unlimited amount you can take.
And then another thing too, go back to Uche. I like Uche, but on that particular play, he was trying to get a sack in the red zone. You got to be smarter on your rushes. You can't just run up the field and expect a guy like Josh Allen to not just take off. So that's one aspect of the defense that in certain situations they look okay, and then other situations you're questioning what happened to this team. They were the best defense in the NFL, and it was similar to the team that had the boogeymen and they had T-shirts going, and then that whole thing fell apart when they ran into a buzzsaw, which was the Buffalo Bills, I think, right?
Yeah. So it's tough though. It's tough against comparing this game out because the offense didn't do anything. So the defense gets more exposed when they're just sitting on the field. The time of possession was crazy different. So
yeah. I was really tired after that game. I was really tired. I had to drive to New York City. I got in at 1:30 a.m. to get up at 5. And then to get home Friday night took me 6 hours.
Wish you took the train, huh?
Yeah, I wish I didn't have to go to that damn game and watch some terrible football. But
yeah, I think you were okay with what you had to do there before. Fans chanting for 4 foot. Yeah. Fans chanting for 4-foot Zappy over Mac is more pathetic than the offensive play calling.
Yeah, I think the whole Zappy stuff is silly. Let it go, people. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna put Zappy. You're gonna put Zappy in there, and you're gonna run the same plays.
Yeah. Does anybody remember what Zappy happened the last time he played? Because Mac only played 3 series against the Bears. Zappy played the rest of it. He threw 2 picks and probably had 10 passes batted down at the line. Not very good. Trying to see. I mean, there's a lot of like Matty P needs to go, so I'm not going to say all of them. What's Bill playing?
I mean, I kind of feel for Matty P in this particular instance because you're asked to do something, you think you can do it, doesn't work out. Oh yeah, that's nice. And I'm sure he can't even turn the radio on without hearing his name.
Well, I mean, now you're getting a lot of that Kraft is going to fire Bill Belichick at the end of the season.
I don't see that.
What's your take?
I
don't see that happening at all. I mean,
I'm just following. I'm following. At the end of the day, everybody needs to realize this thing's all about money.
Yeah.
And the money that this organization has gone from is, I don't even know how you can make that much money in a short amount of time. I mean, really, it's 22, 23 years.
Yeah, from 180 million to like $6 billion. I mean,
so
a lot of money.
It's a lot of coin. So I think that's the driving. That's everything that's driving football. That's why, the head stuff disappeared in the 90s because can't let it hurt the bottom line, can't let it hurt the dollar.
Yeah.
Everything that they do, is trying to make
that's why though. That's why you say when I brought up the whole thing of a possible Tom Brady return that you're like, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Well, guess what? It's maybe a lot of money for both sides of the equation, right? It's a lot of money for the Patriots. It's a lot of money for Tom Brady to come in and do that. Like, it would be massive for them.
I wonder what they'd pay Tom though. What do they give him?
Does it really matter what he gets on a contract?
Yeah, I think that he wouldn't. He's not going to play for $5 million.
Yeah, but he'll play for 15, 20 million bucks.
I don't know. I think he'd want like 25 million per. Would you pay him 25?
Yeah. I mean, it goes into what you think, right? I mean, we're not the ones in the meetings every day seeing Mac Jones in practice and everything. It really depends on what you think, right? Because if you think that Mac Jones can be the future quarterback of the team, there's no way you fucking do it. But if you have doubts about it, then
it would only be it would have to just be a 1 year thing. It's
like a 1 or 2 year deal type thing is what it would be. You think Brady would come back and be the OC?
No shot, man. Why the hell would he do that?
I don't think he'd be a good OC to you. I think he wouldn't be able to handle the players.
Dude, he'd lose his mind on people.
Yeah.
He would lose his shit.
Imagine that.
He's also from a different. He's like I'm sure he's witnessing like the difference in athletes' mentalities. Like he's seeing guys come in now that are a little bit different. There's a little bit different mindset with college athletes. I saw something today that like there's 3,000 people, like 3,000 Division I football players in the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's crazy. It never used to be that.
We're just creating like generation of big ass babies. Like, if you don't like being third string, I'll work the guy. Like, go work for it and go be the starter instead of I'm not starting, I'm transferring, or I'm better than this place. Whatever happened to I'm going to go to a school, I'm going to get a good education, I'm going to ball out for 4 years, and I'm going to get drafted? Why does it have to be I'm going to go to IU, have a good freshman season, and then transfer? Like, why? What's the point? Like, is it because you can make more money somewhere else, or are you basically thinking that because you're at that school, you're not going to get drafted? That's not the case. If you're a really good football player, you're going to get drafted. If you're not a starter, go be a starter. how does it make sense to transfer to a different school?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not even just that. It's just, I mean, you got guys that are starters on big programs, starters now that are in big programs that are entering the transfer portal. Didn't the quarterback from Clemson just enter the transfer portal?
Yeah, why are they doing that?
I don't know. I mean,
what I heard is that these kids are getting their NIL money and then transferring, and they keep the money. So they're double dipping as many times as possible. They get paid, then they transfer to a new school. That new school pays them. They're destroying college football. College football is going to be in the complete shitter in a couple of years. All like the decent systems are going to just continue to be. They're going to crumble because you're not going to have kids that want to go to any schools. You're going to have a few powerhouses. I mean, even look at Colorado. You know, you hired Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders' first day there, he said, "Y'all better hit the portal."
Yeah, I know.
You know,
introduced him to their quarterback, who was his son.
Yeah, like, hey, we got the starting quarterback here. He's my son. It's like, okay. Hey, if you're alumni here, you better get your wallets open. We're going to start paying these kids to come in from Florida, Georgia. Like, they're going to come here. I don't give a shit about your education now. You better just be able to play football, which I get it. It's football. They're paying him to be the football coach. But what about these kids that are going to make $500,000, $1 million in college, and then they don't make it in the league?
I know.
Because
there's gonna be a lot of those. There'll be a lot of those.
A very few percent. You can look it up. I mean, the percentage of guys that go from college to pros is small. So these dudes are going to be getting paid in college, and then they're going to have to go get real jobs, making a quarter of what they were making as a football player in college. So, hey, that real world's going to slap them in the face hard, especially when they're driving a $100,000 car out of the 500 grand. And then on top of that, they got to do their taxes. Like, they got to have a tax guy actually make sure they don't get looked at by the IRS. How many 18-year-old kids? How many 18-year-old kids are getting their taxes done and they're smart with their money? Like, get out of here. Yeah. What about going to school for free? You come out with no debt. You have no debt. Most people have debt. You know, they get out of school, they have debt. They go into a job, they have debt. They start a business, they buy debt, and then they have to work it back. They're in their 30s, they start getting back on top. You come out of college with no debt, you're great. You're gravy. You know, I came out of Purdue, went to the Saints, got a $135,000 check. You know, when I was drafted, I was like, damn, I'm loaded, man. So great, no debt.
New truck.
I actually got the window sticker, $21,000. Brand new truck.
Yeah, you put like leather in it, rims on it.
I did put rims on it. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I know you did. Oh, some breaking news out there. Von Miller is out now with a torn ACL. He just had his ACL repaired today.
Oh my God! I said that on Get Up. I said I sprained my ACL, and if it's a partial ACL, you got to have it fixed, no matter what. So
you are correct, Robert.
Bang! I had a partial ACL, and they said, you should probably get it fixed because you're not going to be able to cut as hard as you used to.
Yeah, they said they went in. The report is he had exploratory surgery yesterday, and they ended up repairing his ACL.
Yep, that's what they do. They say, we're going to go in, we're going to look at your ACL. If it has some fraying, we're going to do the surgery, your ass is out.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, see you later.
I'll give you some others. More props, too.
That's probably it for his career.
Yeah, I'll give you more props, too, on the OBJ thing, because you talked about it that he wasn't going to be ready, and the Cowboys reported they met with him. He had a physical, and the reports coming out of there are saying he's not going to be ready until mid-January.
Do I know my shit or what? Have I had an ACL repair? Have I had my fucking PCL shredded in a million pieces? Yes. Have I tore my MCL 6 times? Yes. I know what it's like. These dudes aren't going to be ready. And Von Miller, that's his second ACL tear on the same knee. It's going to have a lot of. He's in his 30s. He's not going to be the same player. He's not. unless he gets on that HGH, which I'm sure he's got. I don't know, in the league when you got that much money, people got it.
Well, the one thing you don't really know much about is picks. So, but I think it's important. I just want to flip to Boston fans because I was watching this morning or last night. Around here, people are bashing the Red Sox, bashing because they're out they're not spending shit tons of money on free agency right now, and it's so exhausting. It's exhausting because of the fact that if they go out and spend the money, right, and go sign high-priced free agents and they don't work out, then they're going to get slammed for fucking spending too much money. And then if they don't go spend the money on these high-priced free agents that might not work out, then they get slammed for not spending the money. I mean, people act like that the Red Sox now are a small market team. They have one of the highest payrolls in baseball. And it goes same thing with like Bill Belichick, right? Like, we need to get rid of Bill Belichick. Motherfucker,
spoiled
so many
fans.
Games. Well, no, it leads you to this. Here's some like this is like the epitome of like the Boston area. It's actually the epitome of the world now. One day, Albert Einstein was teaching a class, and on the blackboard, he started writing like 9 times 1 equals 9, 9 times 2 equals 18, 9 times 3 equals 27, and he kept going down. And he went to 9 times 10, and he wrote 91. And the whole class erupted, screaming out, like, how did you not get that? You're supposed to be the smartest man in the world. How did you not get that correct? Like, that's an easy question. 8-year-olds can get it. Like, and just berating him a little bit. And he just let it all go. And then when it all stopped, he said, despite answering the first 9 questions correctly, no one congratulated me. Instead, when I got one wrong, everyone started laughing. This means that despite being very successful, society will only notice the smallest mistakes and make fun of it. Don't let simple criticism destroy your dreams.
That's deep, man. We need to make a T-shirt like that.
Look at that. I know. I should put it on a T-shirt, right?
Put it on a T-shirt.
Well, I should put it on a T-shirt, put it over people's Zappy shirts on and Fire Belichick shirts on and, Red Sox don't spend enough money shirts on and all that. Because that's what it is. I mean, it's so spoiled. Society's so spoiled.
But also, too, you can't – your team doesn't reflect the money that you're going to go out and spend in free agency. Because how many times have people gone out and spent a shit ton of money and that investment doesn't turn out to be the best investment? So you have to build your roster all through young talent. So that's bringing in young talent, developing young talent. I don't care what sport it is, basketball, football, baseball. If you can draft well and you have a good system that is bringing up talent, you're going to be fine. If you freak out in a certain situation, you say, we got to go spend we got to go spend $250 million.
We got to go sign Russell Wilson to be our quarterback. Like, how do you look
just
now?
mad because they're mad because they wanted Aaron Judge. They wanted Aaron Judge in a Boston Red Sox uniform. He was going to sign $400 million, but he went back with the Yankees.
It's only
salty.
9-year, $360 million, all guaranteed.
Yeah, that's good until he's got to pay all that freaking New York tax.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, isn't
that crazy? How much was it? 300 and what?
60. So $40 million a year guaranteed.
He'll make like
175.
He'll make like 18 million a year if it's 40.
Yeah,
that's crazy to think that he'll make 100.
I know.
Like, oh, don't buy that don't buy that $25 million house. Jeez.
But the thing with it, though, is that you also have to look at things not just short term, long term. Everybody wants to look at it short term. Like, we're going to go sign Aaron Judge, going to be great. You don't look at the back half of that deal, though, when he is 36, 37, 38, 39 years old, making $40 million. Like, you have to put that in.
Look at A-Rod. A-Rod A-Rod sign 2 deals that were like 10-year deals. 2, like 250 and then like 350.
Yeah. At the back half of it, it's bad. And your team is shitty because
you're
trying to fit all that.
At the end, he literally was on the team just to make his money. Like, they didn't even use him.
No, that's just what it is. I mean, that's the thing with Mac Jones. Everybody's bashing this kid right now, and he's a rookie. He's making he's making $4 million or $3 million less than Brien Hoyer. I mean, you have to give the kid the shot, put the stuff around him because this is your time to go out and do it.
We better put Hoyer in.
It's gonna be hard.
Let's put Hoyer in.
Oh, stop it.
Hoyer.
I think it's probably good to do picks now, right? So we can continue this beating.
Let's do picks. Come on, baby.
That you've been sustaining. All right, Thursday night, tomorrow night, Raiders Rams. It could be Baker Mayfield. It could be Baker Mayfield for the Rams.
Raiders.
I'm also going to go Raiders. I'll go Raiders also. Oh, it's another big game. Big game for the Patriots here. Jets versus the Bills.
I'm going Buffalo. I'm going Buffalo.
Why wouldn't you go the Jets? I'm going to go Buffalo. I don't see them losing 2 games to the Jets.
Yeah.
Browns at the Bengals. Deshaun Watson did not look too great this past week in his return.
Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals. Bengals are good. Texans at the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Vikings at the Lions. And here, the Lions are favored in this game as a 2.5-point favorite right now.
I kind of like the Lions. I like the Lions.
I'm gonna go the Vikings. I'm gonna go the Vikings. They're 10.
I'm going Lions.
Going Vikings. Jaguars at the Titans.
I'm gonna go Titans.
I'll go Titans also. Eagles at the Giants. I'm not going Jaguars. I'm going Titans. Eagles at the. I'm also gonna go Eagles. Ravens at the Steelers.
I'm going Steelers.
I'm also going to go Steelers without Lamar Jackson in there.
Yeah.
Chiefs at the Broncos. Go Broncos. Come on. Let's ride.
Chiefs. That'd be an idiot to go Broncos.
I'll also go Chiefs. Buccaneers at the 49ers.
49ers.
Yeah, 49ers. I thought Brady might get killed in that game. Panthers at the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Also Seahawks. Dolphins at the Chargers.
I'm going to go Chargers.
I'm also going Chargers. I think.
Damn it!
I was going to pick that game from the beginning. And then we're going to be Monday Night Football. I'll be there watching every single snap of that game. Patriots at the Cardinals. You already picked the Cardinals. You want to stick with it?
No.
What happens if a Call of Duty update comes out like Friday night? Then they're fucked.
I just don't think. I think that they can't lose. They can't lose to the Cardinals. Like they can't lose to the Cardinals.
You open the show.
They can't lose to the
Cardinals.
I'm going Patriots. They can't lose to the Cardinals. They lose to the yeah. It's the Cardinals. They can't beat the Cardinals. They can't lose the Cardinals. They got to beat the Cardinals. Patriots.
I think this is going to be like the Minnesota game, except the difference of the game.
I'm changing my Miami. I'm changing my Miami pick. I'm going Miami over this. I gotta come up too. I gotta come up. I mean, look, you picked every team that I picked.
No, I didn't.
I gotta try and get back on track with my record. So there's 2 games here we're different on.
No, so 3 Lions, now with that. 3 with that. Because you got Lions. You're taking the Dolphins. And then you're taking the Cardinals, right?
No, I'm taking the Patriots. Taking the Patriots. Patriots.
I think it's going to be a game like the Vikings game offensively for the Patriots. They're going to go down the field a little bit. And the defense will play better against the Cardinals than they will against the Vikings. And that's just what it's going to be. I mean, I don't think it's going to be like a blowout or anything. I think it'll be a close game, but I think the offense might get back on track this week. And then hopefully they do because they're going to have a tough test out in Vegas. 6 days later? They got flexed out of Sunday Night Football.
When's the last time the Patriots were flexed out of Sunday Night Football?
I don't know. It's actually better for them, though, because then you, instead of playing at 8 or 5 p.m. West Coast time and then finishing the game and then having to fly home, you at least get 3 or 4 hours shorter. I think it's better for them that way. It'll help out for the next week.
Where was that game at? The flexed one
Vegas.
back?
It's in Vegas.
Oh, they played. Oh, okay. So it's not a night game.
No, it's going to be a 4 o'clock East Coast start. So 1 o'clock out there.
Got it.
The return,
Well,
the master versus the apprentice, basically. Belichick versus Josh McDaniels.
you can't lose that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, but so do you think they're going to right the ship a little bit with the offense? Do you think there is a chance that they can right the ship for the rest of the season with the offense? Or do you think it's just gone?
I think they're going to be what they are for the rest of the year. They'll win probably 3 more. No, what do they play? What's the rest of the schedule look like? So they got
Cardinals,
Raiders,
the
Raiders.
Then they have the Bengals. Then they have the Dolphins, and then they have the Bills. So you got 5 games left.
They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose 3 of those 5. So they're gonna win. They'll beat the Cardinals. They'll beat the Raiders, maybe.
And then lose 3 in a row.
They might. Do you think they're gonna beat the Bengals right now?
I think I see. The way the Bengals are offensively is better for the Patriots because, with that quarterback in the pocket and everything, the pass rush can sell out and get to him.
Yeah, but he can still run. Like, that's what gets you. Joe Burrow can go, man.
But he's going to get like 5-6 yards on a scramble. It's not going to be like a Josh Allen getting 30 or Fields getting 50 and stuff like that.
Do you think maybe Miami, they could beat Miami? Is it in Miami?
No, it's in New England.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually working the Bengals game.
I think they can. On Bengals, Bengals is in New England on Christmas Eve. And then the Dolphins are the next week, New Year's Day in Foxborough also. You get 2 back-to-back home games there. So I think they can win. I think they can beat the Bengals and the Dolphins. I'm not sure they can go to Buffalo and beat Buffalo, but I think they can definitely beat the Bengals and the Dolphins. And if they do that, if they beat the Cardinals, the Raiders, and take one game between the Dolphins, Bills, and Bengals, they have a shot. I mean, they have an outside shot to make the playoffs. They control the tiebreakers over a lot of these games.
Aren't we doing a show from Buffalo?
Well, that's up to you.
I'm going. Let's go. Come on, I'm ready. I'll freaking drive.
But the other thing too is, don't forget, they could win that game in Buffalo because there's a good chance that Buffalo is not playing for anything, and they're going to sit Josh Allen if they're not playing for anything.
Oh, how depressing! That Buffalo would doesn't have to try and win that game, and the Patriots would try to win it. What, to
make the playoffs?
So depressing.
But if they make the wild card, though, if they make the playoffs now, isn't that a huge, huge feat for Bill Belichick with what he has, what he's put himself in? I'll give you that. I mean, he made Matty P the OC. But to have that, all those odds stacked, I mean, it just shows how good of a head coach he is if he can put this together and make the playoffs. It becomes one of his best coaching seasons. I mean,
but if they get to the playoffs, I don't know. If they get to the playoffs and lose in the first round, doesn't mean anything. That's because everybody else sucked.
Everybody's predicted them to win 6 games this year.
I predicted 8 to 9.
No, you've predicted anywhere from 5 to 13. So I don't want to hear your predictions. TJ, I think now would be a good time to took a montage of Rob Ninkovich's win total for the Patriots as it went on.
I'm looking at these stogies.
Summer, everything.
Look at this. I got this from my buddy. Rolling Stogies. See this here? Little humidor.
Yeah.
I got all this stuff in there.
All the Monte Cristos?
Not all Monte Cristos, but some. But anyway, Rolling Stogies, really cool business idea. He's got a trailer that he goes around to different events, and it's like a humidor. The whole trailer's a humidor, so he sets up.
That's cool.
Very cool. So we got the Dan O'Brien Auto Group party. Let's get the Rolling Stogies in there. Get everyone smoking cigars.
I like cigars. I love cigars.
I love cigars. They
so my favorite things.
You love cigars?
Yeah, smells great. Oh yeah, I love cigars.
Right.
Especially on vacation and stuff. You sit outside in the Caribbean and on your patio of your place and smoke a cigar at night.
I like to push my I like to have my gold chain out and just push my belly out and just have a cigar and have a beer, set it right there.
That's probably a good ending for the show there.
Done.
Yeah.
All right.
So next week I'll be in Vegas, so I'll be shooting from the wind.
I think I want to come to Vegas. I'm going to talk to Paige about it.
Come on down. We'll be there.
Yeah, I should say take a hike. You ain't going to Vegas. Last time I was in Vegas, it's bad.
What? You lost money?
I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Something happened at the pool. I can't remember.
You're older now. Come on. You come on
I'm
out.
more mature. All right. Well, everybody have a terrific weekend. I got to go to New York, Granite City today.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, danandninko.com. Follow us on YouTube. We're getting close to our goal of subscribers. So I think we're like 200 and something away. We can easily get there, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.